Assalamualaikum AFA, I'm Rahmah H. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about perseverance and Women's History Month, which is March. We're in March right now. So I want to talk about a woman in Islamic history that I found very inspiring. She's one of my favorite people. That is Nusaybah bint Kaab. And the part of her story I'm going to share is at the Battle of Uhud. So it was a big battle in Islamic history. The Muslims were outnumbered, but they were doing pretty well. Long story short, there was kind of a mix-up, to say, where there were these archers that weren't supposed to move from their spots, and they ended up moving, and that was something that really was, pivotal moment in the battle. And the Muslims quickly lost the upper hand that they had gained, and the Meccans started attacking from all sides. The people that were, the enemies of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ immediately started going to where he was, and Nusaybah was nearby. She was delivering water. She saw what's happening, and she just dropped what she was doing. She grabbed a sword, and she immediately went to just go join the others. She didn't stop to think. She didn't stop to think at all, basically. She knew she had to defend her faith. She knew she had to defend her prophet. And without a moment's hesitation, she went and did exactly that. So she grabbed a sword. She went to start defending the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Every hit they were trying to, aim at the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, she would take for him. She had over 12 major wounds from that battle. That shows how hard she was fighting. The Prophet ﷺ later said, everywhere he looked, Nusaybah was defending him. Everywhere he looked, she was there. She had her sword. She was ready to fight these people off for him. And I just think that is so amazing. She persevered through one of the hardest situations. People are actually trying to harm you. And she didn't stop. She didn't go and say, okay, this is too much, it's too scary, I can't do this anymore, She persevered through a lot. And I think that story is really, really inspiring, mashallah. And, once she was healed from all her wounds, she wasn't like, all right, that was hard, I'm out. She went back time after time again. She would fight to defend her faith. So she is an amazing, amazing woman. Definitely do a little more research on her if you have some time. That was a shortened version of her story. So I can share a personal story. I was in my honors history class last semester, which is 2-ish quarters ago. And we had this big, big project at the end of the semester. I was really scared. It was a 20-page paper. I was not prepared. I've never written anything that long in my whole life, and I had no idea where to start. Luckily, my teacher had, given us some help, didn't just leave us and say, all right, figure this out on your own. But it was a lot of hard work. I had to do a lot of research. I had to pick a topic, and I had to do a lot of, outlining and revising and going to my teacher for feedback, going to my mom for feedback. And, once I figured out what I wanted to write about, it was just a lot of persevering in the process of writing. It was really hard for me to, be able to sit down, focus on one thing, and just write consistently. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to get this in on time. I genuinely believed. I was like, I don't know if I can get this project in on time. It's really big. But, my twin sister, she was like, you know what, we can do this together. She was in the same class as me. So she was like, we'll keep each other accountable. We'll check in, say, hey, where you are, or have you written this many pages? Do you need help with this paragraph? And, we worked together. We stayed up a little later than we probably should have some nights. But, we persevered. We got the project handed in. We both got pretty good grades, alhamdulillah. So that was just a recent example of something I've had to persevere through. A little minor, but I figured some of you guys could relate to that. with, big projects in school. So something I just want to say really quickly on the topic of perseverance is I've learned perseverance doesn't mean doing things on your own. I think in a lot of stories we hear, like the story of Nusaybah, it's like, wow, she did this all on her own, and that's real perseverance. Wow, what she did was amazing and incredible, mashallah. It doesn't mean you have to go through things alone all the time. If there's something that's really hard on you, you don't have to say perseverance means doing this alone and holding it inside of me and not talking to anyone about that. That's not what perseverance is. Perseverance is just not stopping. It's working through something. It's doing hard work. And that can totally be with the help of other people. If you need help on an assignment, you can go to your teacher. It doesn't mean you're giving up. If, you're facing some bullying and you need to persevere through that, please tell an adult. Perseverance doesn't mean, oh, I'm so strong because I did this on my own. It is a really big thing to ask for help, and that I think shows actually how strong you are. So I just want to say that really quickly. I wanted to tie this into Women's History Month, like I said, because women are a group in society that have had to persevere through so much. A lot. And something that you guys have probably studied in your classes is the women's suffrage movement, which is the right to vote, which we only got like 101 years ago. That's kind of a short time if you think about it. I know it's like, whoa, 100 years. But that's pretty recent. And it's actually kind of crazy if you think about it. Like the right to vote, we only got like a century ago. We're still facing a lot of battles today. I think a lot of people make the mistake of thinking, all right, women's issues, they're over. We're all good now. Everyone's equal. Unfortunately, that's not the case. And women still have to persevere through a lot today. There's the wage gap, which is the difference in pay that men and women get for doing the same exact job. No difference in the amount of work they're doing. Women can be paid 73 cents for every dollar a man makes. And that adds up very quick. That can add up to thousands of dollars. And it makes a really, really big difference. And it's something that's not fair. And it's something that we need to change in our society. And it kind of blows my mind every time I think about it, because I'm like, wow, this is something we're still struggling to, get the right of equal pay. And it's really sad. It's unfair, and it's something really important. So, I just wanted to say that also, as big of issues like the wage gap and the right to vote, there are also a lot of small things we have to persevere through also. Whether it is trying really hard to have your voice heard in a room of a lot of people, particularly a lot of other men or boys. I've experienced that where, you kind of feel like, all right, I don't know if I necessarily should be talking in this room or if it's my place to say something, simply because of your gender. And it's something I didn't really notice, mostly until, I came to high school. Alhamdulillah, AFA is such a great environment, and I think we work really hard to make that an environment where everyone feels equal. But it is something women have to persevere through every single day. A lot of different struggles. There are a lot of just things that are going on in our society right now. I am going over my time limit, but I just wanted to tell you guys, happy Women's History Month. Do some more research on ways you can help if you want to donate to women's shelter, or if you want to volunteer, or if you just want to spread the word about certain issues involving women that you're passionate about. I would highly encourage you to do that. Encourage you to do some research on Nusaybah. She has an amazing story. I gave you the shortened version of it. And, persevere through this whole COVID thing. We got this, inshallah. Allah is with us. And I love you all so much. So, assalamu alaikum.